I'd like to welcome and thank everyone for being here today. My name is Stephen Sear, and this will be my 8th year at Camp Foster, and my 3rd year being a counselor. So I'd like to introduce myself a little bit. Like I said, I've been going here for a while, and I'd just like to share some memories I have, of good old camp, and hopefully some things I hope that the new camp will bring to the kids here. I remember capture the flag when we used to run down those hills. We'd try to capture the other kids' flag. Kids would be tagging each other. It'd be nuts, and we'd do that every single day. And I'd never be on the red team, never. Always a stone-hearted green player. Just who I was. Water Week. Water Week was my favorite week, because we have themes for our weeks every single week. And Water Week was one of my favorite ones because we'd have, at the end of the week, a water war. And that was kids would bring water guns, people would be strapping up water balloons, war paint. Kids would be screaming down, shooting their water gun everywhere. Kids would be bringing in buckets, and it was all-out mayhem. And it was fun. It was really fun. I just want to hope that this new camp brings, the same memories that we can hopefully bring to these new kids coming in, seeing this for the first time. And I still hope that even as a staff, I can impact these kids' lives just as staff before me have impacted my life. I'd like you to please join me in welcoming Diane Fitzpatrick, our Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club, and Steve McMahon, our Chair of the Capital Campaign.
All I can say is wow. That's what I'm feeling right now, overwhelmed. It's great to look out and see all of you here today. Before I get started, I want to thank Natalie Jutras for writing my speech. She keeps me focused, so thank you, Natalie. We're so excited to have all of our friends here for the big unveiling. You all are the first to see this camp because you all have invested so much, and we cannot thank you enough, so thank you there. Today is a special day only because of the generosity of many of you. It's because of you we have been able to raise $5.2 million in just 2.5 years. Your support has allowed us to move forward with this project to advance the mission to serve more kids. We are so humbled by your support and know this special project would not have happened without all of you. There are 3 families I would like to acknowledge that have made a significant investment in supporting this campaign. Our Amoskeag Beverage family, representing today Ed and Megan, and Tom and Leslie Bullock. Debbie and Ed Warlick were unable to join us today. They're on the trip of a lifetime, so I'm so grateful for having them in our lives. And Sally and Mark Stebbins, who we get to honor in just a few minutes. Thank you to all of you for believing in our kids, our mission, and our club. Camp Foster might be new, has a new look, but the traditions, the legends, the camp lore will carry on for generations to come. Speaking of legends, I'd like to welcome Lucien Trudeau and his wife Anne. Lucien was a council way back in 1952, 11 years after our last major renovation. Project was not an easy task. We at the club are so grateful for Keith Moreau and Ken Neal. Where are you both? Ken, I can't see you. For their vital role they played in project. I've enjoyed working with both of you. I can't thank you enough for your dedication to this project and never losing sight of your responsibilities at the club. It's been remarkable. Like all projects, there are so many people to acknowledge and thank. LaValle Brunsinger, Fawcett O'Neill, Ted Banson. God, Ted, I've been saying your name all year. Longchamps, Milford Lumber, Harvey Construction, the Capital Campaign Committee members, the Board of Directors of the Boys and Girls Club, all the contractors who've worked so hard to restore camp, creating a new and improved summer experience for our kids. At this time, I'd like to invite Steve McMahon, a longtime board member and chairman of the Capital Campaign, to say a few words.
Thank you, Diane. As Diane said, we have raised $5.2 million in 2.5 years. We still have a little ways to go. We're going to kick off the public phase of the campaign tonight. But we don't raise that kind of money if we don't have the support of people that are here, other people in the community. It doesn't work if we don't have a great committee. We were involved in a campaign committee back, capital campaign before 2010 when we renovated Union Street. And that committee did a good job. We were very successful. This time we've had a phenomenal committee where everyone has contributed greatly and participated. So everybody that's been on the committee and remains on the committee for the rest of the year, I thank you all very much, and I thank all of you that have supported us. But as you all know, the need in this community is incredible. 8,000 of the 14,000 kids in this city live in poverty. And this club does so much to help those kids, as you people know. And what we're accomplishing here is allowing 70 to 100 kids a day be able to use this camp and use Union Street as a result of the expansion we've done. So you can all feel great about yourselves for the contribution you've made, for the difference it'll make in kids' lives for generations to come. Lucian, you were here in what, the 50s? And it made a difference then, and it's going to make a difference for the next 50, 100 years. We've been here for 112, and we're going to be here for 112 more. Plus, I'm going to be off the board by then, I think. Time limits are setting up. I also want to bring to your attention, many of you have had naming rights, or you've designated an area where you've made a donation. There are signs around at all those locations. We also would like to get pictures with everyone near their sign. So make sure you find one of the paparazzi that's around today, and let's get a photo taken. Steve Morse, by the way, I just noticed this. The guy in the hat there, he's 70 years old today, so we can wish Steve happy birthday. He thinks this is game for him. It's not, that was an old name, Steve. So, again, I want to thank you all for the contribution you've made to this beautiful place that's going to serve these kids. And lastly, because this has been brought up 3 or 4 times to me already today, how corporations would love to have outings here and do seminars or whatever. And it is in our plans to create corporate memberships where corporations will become members of the club through a donation of some kind. And with that, we'll be allowed interactivity with kids, but also an opportunity to come use this facility. So keep that in mind, any of you connected to a corporation, that we'd love to talk to you about that somewhere down the road in the next year or two, where this is going to be available for use for those kinds of outings. All right? Who's next? Steve, you're back? But I messed you up here. Again, thank you.
I'm only here for a second, Steve. I'd like to invite Mayor Joyce Craig to say a few words.
Good afternoon. I echo Diane's comment in saying, wow. When I was walking in here, I could not believe the transformation that occurred in about a year. I had been here last summer playing baseball with Diane and the campers and the Fisher Cats right over there in that field, and walked through this area, and there were old cabins. And I knew, Diane said that, you know, there was going to be a complete renovation, but I had no idea that it was going to look like this. And I'm just so grateful for all that everyone has done. So it's really, truly a pleasure to be here with all of you. Governor Lynch and Dr. Lynch, it's wonderful to be with you and to see you here today as well. As you heard, for over 110 years, the Boys and Girls Club has been a safe haven for youth in the greater Manchester area. By helping our kids achieve their best, the Boys and Girls Club has strengthened our community by mentoring future leaders and providing them with wonderful role models. The staff and volunteers are amazing. They provide a safe, caring, and nurturing environment for our kids, both at the club in downtown Manchester and now at this new and improved Camp Foster. Camp Foster's philosophy is to let kids have fun. And like I said, when I was here last year, the kids were having a blast. I'm so grateful that our kids, our city kids, have an opportunity to experience summer camp here. Fresh air, swimming, hiking, canoeing, classic games as you heard, kick the can, capture the flag, Foursquare. They can be kids and enjoy old-fashioned outdoorsy activities that they probably wouldn't have otherwise. So I too want to thank everyone who made this possible. The Bullocks, the Wards, the Stebbins family for all that you do for youth in Manchester. The folks at the Boys and Girls Club, Primary Bank, Harvey Construction, and everyone who's worked, donated, and volunteered and supported youth in our city. The Boys and Girls Club is a true asset to our city, and the services they provide are invaluable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Joyce Craig. I'd like to introduce Diane to make some special presentation.
Stephen, you're doing a great job. Yeah, this is very special introductions right now. Mark and Sally, I have to kind of take this and look at you and say this. It wasn't too long ago when we were walking around the 22 acres and imagining the possibilities. I thank you for that time. Your guidance, your support for this project has been invaluable. Starting, of course, with Sally and our road trip to Camp Huckins. Thank you for helping us make connections with the camp community, for sharing your insight. We came up with the best business plan for this camp. You challenged us, right, Mark? You challenged us to think strategically and encouraged us to be bold. And for that, we all will be so grateful forever and ever. So Mark and Sally, would you please join me up here and say a few words?
TLC. We were thrilled to hear that you were going to make a huge capital investment in the camp, and I think Mark and I were on board immediately to say we want to do it. We just felt it was a good thing to do. And to see it come to fruition is overwhelming for me. It really is beautiful and really has exceeded all of expectations that I had ever dreamed of. I saw it on paper, but to see it in person is really, it's emotional. So thank you all who have been part of the planning committee and the fundraising committees and the long hours that I know took to get this, to make it a reality. Very appreciative. So from that, I'll turn it over to Mark.
So when Brian called us and said, Diane and I want to come over and visit with you and Sally, we knew we were in trouble. And in trouble we were, but one of the things I want to do is this. We chose the name the Stebbins Family Hall because our our family has been very, very involved with the Boys and Girls Club, originally the Boys Club, for, I would say, for 60 plus years, forever. So I want to introduce my mother. This is, take a step and stand up. So my mother and my father, we have great pictures of them for years and years going to the Boys Club ball. And my father was the president of the Boys Club or chairman of the board for many, many years. And that tradition carried on. Sally ran the ball for 3 years. I'd also like to introduce my brother and sister-in-law, Hank Stebbins and Allison Stebbins. Allison, all right? Hank was on the board for, I think, 10 years or so, and very, very involved with the Boys Club at that time. And I think we're part of it when they did the Boys and Girls Club. The other two people I want to introduce are my children, who seem to be far apart. My son, John, over here, and my daughter, Jennifer. And hopefully, like Sally and I are carrying on the tradition that my father and mother started, hopefully my son and my daughter will take over the tradition of philanthropy and working with Boys and Girls Club for generations to come. This, as Sally said, blew us away when we walked down here. This is an amazing transformation. We count it as a privilege for us to be involved in something like this. This is, as Sally said, it's also very emotional because of all the years involved with the camp and with the Boys Club, etc. And we couldn't have been more excited when Diane and Brian came and talked to us. And as Diane said, it was a great, we met probably 4 times, and finally Brian said, "Are you going to get money or what?" That's what old age brings, you know, you get direct, right? I said, "Yes, Brian, these meetings are not for naught," so. But thank you all for coming, and we're looking forward to coming back year after year and seeing this place used to its fullest extent for not only for the kids, but to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you. And Tinka, thank you for being here. It's such an honor to have you here today. It means so much to me.
And you to me.
I said I wasn't going to cry, and I can feel it welling up, so I'm going to get focused here. Thank you to Mark and Sally. Our next dedication holds a special place. Mark talked a lot about this special person. He is pretty remarkable. To know him is to love him. A large part of Brian's life, the Boys and Girls Club, took place here at Camp Foster. His desire to create awesome experiences for kids, his passion to play and make the kids have an incredible time here. He was an incredible counselor, athletic director, and eventually a camp counselor. When we celebrated his 42 years with the club a year and a half ago, we knew we better do something big to observe his years of service. In the early stages of the capital campaign, Brian lit up about the Brian lit up with the idea of creating this natural playscape here at Camp Foster. So it's my privilege to announce the dedication of the Camp Foster Playground in honor of our dear friend, Brian Tremblay.
This is completely unexpected. Thank you all for being here tonight and for supporting this beautiful facility that will literally thousands of children are going to have the same experiences that Stephen had. He's a perfect example of what's going to happen in the future to kids who come here and have free play. They can pick and choose what they want to do, and they'll find, that special spark of success here for generations that comes. I'm speechless.
Wow.
But let me tell you. No. Thank you all.
Now I'd like to introduce Bill Stone, President of Primary Bank.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to the dedication of the new and about to be complete Camp Foster baseball field over here to our left, or my left, your right. I'm honored to say just a few words about today's dedication and the individual that's being recognized. The field is being named after a dear friend of the club and a friend of many of us here today. I have also had the opportunity to work with this person personally, as he's a valued member of the board of directors of Primary Bank. So many of his fellow board members, as well as Primary Bank, made gifts to support the campaign and the renovation of Camp Foster, and we pooled these gifts for a special naming opportunity. This person had made many visits to the Boys and Girls Club in Manchester, including several here at Camp Foster. And from what I've heard, there was a competitive day on the softball field several years ago that pitted him against college baseball star Brian Tremblay. I also heard, based on the outcome of that game, that he immediately demanded a rematch. And now that Camp Foster renovations are nearly complete, maybe that will happen later this summer once the field is ready to play. So it is with great pleasure that I announce that the new Camp Foster baseball field is being dedicated by Primary Bank as the Governor Lynch Baseball Field. Come on up, John, please. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to say that I have fond memories of Camp Foster, but I don't. So Brian challenged me to a softball game, and he stacked the teams. So he put all the hot shots on his team. Where's Brian? Yeah, Brian, yeah, good. And he put on my team people who couldn't catch the ball. So we lost. So I challenged Brian, this was how many years ago, Brian? 8 years ago to a rematch, and he hasn't yet stepped up to the plate. So I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I do love the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm so honored by this. I think the Boys and Girls Club, it's all about opportunity, the opportunity that we offer to our young people to have better lives, the opportunity that we offer to them to eventually get good jobs and be able to provide for themselves and their families. So I'm a huge supporter of the Boys and Girls Club. And I want to thank the staff and the volunteers for all they do. And all the nonprofits which Susan and I support, the Boys and Girls Club, in spite of Brian, they're at the top of the list. So thank you very much. This means a lot to me. Thank you.
do want to just take a pause here and acknowledge Dick Jarvis, who's worked here for over 50 years, for coming out, and thank you for all you do for our children and being part of our family, Dick. Like I said, we've come a long way, but we're not finished yet. This is the most important part. Well, we're here to celebrate the investment you've all made. $5.2 million mark. I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of all of our staff and all the hard work. And I thank you for all you've done. We're also eager to announce our official launching of the public phase of More Kids and Brighter Futures campaign. In our commitment, we made a bold commitment to raise over $650,000 to achieve our campaign goal of $5.8 million by the end of 2019. Yes, it's a bold goal, but we know we can do this. We are already off on an amazing start. I received an exciting call yesterday from the Hearst Foundation, who generously agreed to give us $75,000 towards this campaign. I'm still pretty emotional. I'm still in shock. I got a call this morning from Amoskeag Beverages with a pledge of $150,000 to the public. With this $75,000 alumni challenge from the McIntosh Foundation, we are on our way. When we began the campaign, our goal was to invest in our community, renovate and revitalize Camp Foster, and expand the Union Street Clubhouse. We're wrapping up phase 1. Phase 2 is just around the corner. We are preparing to break ground this year at the Union Street Clubhouse. I'm very excited about that. We appreciate all that you've done and continue to do for our kids. Thank you for supporting this campaign, which allows us to serve more kids and help create brighter futures. Thank you so much for being here today.